I'm a parent dealing with this system. How do I tell the difference between a doctor who maybe is there to help me and a doctor who's building a case or asking cop-like questions?
Well,
Or is there a difference? Is it all going into the same system?
hmm, that is hard to say. I would be able to tell. So I'm trying to think if I bring my child to the hospital and I explain what happened. So I have a friend who was holding her child, fell on the ice, landed on the child. Child got hurt. She got hurt. She explained what happened. They weren't satisfied with that explanation, but no matter how many times she explained the story, it was the same story. There were no differences, right? She didn't try to figure out why she tripped on the ice. She didn't think about why she picked him up. She didn't talk about, you know, necessarily how many times before she had fallen on the ice. She didn't talk about, well, 2 years ago, actually, I fell on the ice with him and he had a concussion. And then we had, none of that. Just but if somebody keeps asking you to explain it again, I would have red flags go off myself because I would figure, well, I already explained it. If
Right.
they separate, let's say that there's a mom and a dad and dad rushes the child to the hospital, calls the mom, says you got to meet me there. I was walked had him in my arms. I fell tripped on the steps. I want to take him there. He brings the child to the emergency room. The mother shows up and they're separated. Somebody says to them, "You know what? We just want to talk to you individually if that's okay." And most parents are like, "Sure, that's fine." Because we have
Right.
nothing to hide. Okay, that's a red flag when they start separating you from each other. When they say that they'd like you to step out of the room, you're at your child's bedside, for whatever reason, you're very concerned, you're not leaving that room, and somebody says, well, we would just like you to step out in the hall, there's probably going to be a guard waiting there or a child protection worker with some sort of an order or something. If you've been in that hospital for several hours with people asking you all kinds of repetitive questions and you don't really seem to be getting the medical care that you came to get, that could be a reason that you'd actually just prefer to take your child home.
Got it. So when the questions start to be about you and what
Hmm.
you've been doing rather than giving your child what they need, that's the red flag.
That could be a red flag. Yep. Or repeating a story. Or how's your relationship with your husband or your wife? Or, is there any physical violence in the home? Or what about alcohol? Or anything. Those questions are definitely going in a direction that is not consistent with my child fell off the swing in the park. I'm just here to make sure that they're okay.